What's up, everybody? Brian Engelman here, the New American Media, the Unhappy Hour. Welcome. These guys just won an improbable, amazing game for the ages against the New York Yankees yesterday in the 13th inning, winning 9-8. Got so many things to talk about. This was one of the best games you will ever see in baseball. This is what you just saw from the Cleveland Indians and the New York Yankees is perhaps the epitome, the epic, most prime example of what makes baseball amazing as a sport. You can see a lot of 1-0 games, pretty boring, 2-1, regular inning games in the regular season. And I can get how that would be boring. But in the playoffs, where every single move, every single decision is multiplied, everything's under a magnifying glass. There were so many epic plays yesterday. It's tough to figure out where to start. Do we start with Yan Gomes? Do we start with Frankie Lindor? Do we talk about the bad thing that happened with Edwin Encarnacion? Do we talk about Kluber getting rocked? Yeah, exactly, Tom. Who would have thought that Kluber would have a bad night? Oh, so if you're watching on this camera, you're probably on vid.me/the New American Media. If not, link up with us over there. We're doing that because YouTube has been censoring our videos. They don't like that we have opinions. We're pretty fair in the opinions that we take, and we discuss weird subject matter. But what is weird? But that's all based on what we have at our YouTube channel, youtube.com/the New American Media. I don't know. It's over, somewhere around 6 years we've been putting videos up there. Many hundreds of videos, different subjects, music and spirituality and sports and current events and politics and all the weird stuff you could imagine. So link up with us on YouTube and on vid.me and Patreon, patreon.com/the New American Media. You can help fund the efforts here because we're pretty much done putting the beta test together. It's getting close to launch time. So link up with us, instagram.com/the New American Media as well, because we put different things on different platforms. So let's go ahead and pick a place to start. We can talk about Corey Kluber. Corey didn't have his best stuff, or the New York Yankees were locked in on Kluber from the minute that game started. Every inning was a bad inning. Every pitch, every hitter was a bad hitter, a bad matchup. Kluber just wasn't hitting his marks. He wasn't getting the calls. He was ending up in bad counts, which are pro hitter counts, and the hitters were taking advantage. He got rocked just a little over 2 innings, and they pulled Corey Kluber. Probably the guy that just won the Cy Young this year. Probably the best pitcher in baseball. That's why every play in the Major League Baseball postseason counts. Every little thing is magnified, and it becomes an epic thing. You have one outing as a starting pitcher, perhaps the best starting pitcher, and you expect, as a fan and maybe as a coaching staff, you expect that that's going to be a win. Well, things don't always go according to plan. How unexpected was Corey Kluber getting ganked from the game like that? Absolutely incredible. Absolutely. Tom over here on Facebook, we have a private group. It's called The Unhappy Hour Sports Show. What's it called? The Unhappy Hour Sports Show. What is it, a therapy group? What do we call it? I don't know. We keep changing the names of things. But anyway, find The Unhappy Hour Sports Show, a support group for fans or something. Find the group, jump in. We got the Indians, we got the Cavs, we got the Buckeyes, and then we got that other football team doing their thing. Hi to James. Hi to Danielle. If any of you have comments or thoughts, type them below. I'll try to interact and have a conversation with you. If you want to jump in and say something, say, click invite or invite me. I want to say something. Otherwise, I'll keep going. So they talked about it yesterday with the coaching staff. So the reporters interviewed Terry Francona specifically and talked about the game. And I liked what he said. He goes, "This isn't a team where we support one guy, that we believe in one or two guys on the team, that we have full faith in one or two guys." He said, "We have full belief and faith in every guy on this team. Every player on this team we have faith in." And you look at the 22 games that the Cleveland Indians have won in the course of that streak, that record-setting streak that happened to kind of wind out the regular season for the Tribe. It really was different people making different contributions in big ways, big plays, every different game. It wasn't, you can't really just put it on the shoulders of one or two or three people and say, well, a few players they played out of their mind for a month and it was great. That's not the case. What you have is a situation where, like Tito Francona said, every player is making big contributions in big-time games. What did I hear when I played high school football? I always heard big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. And I like that. I like that a lot. When the lights shine the brightest, that's your chance. That's your best chance. And this team is locked and loaded. I heard someone talking about how Alex Rodriguez referred to the Indians as, well, obviously they're the favorites. And we had the conversation, well, when is the last time the Indians have been the favorites? And then you watch this come from behind win, and as much as the media wants to make it about Joe Girardi and a challenge that wasn't made, it was kind of ambiguous anyway. I could see what their point is, or for pulling CC Sabathia too. I mean, that's a 37, 38-year-old starting pitcher too. Girardi's probably thinking you got to at least count on him in Game 4. Don't burn him out. So all the second guessing aside, most of the people who covered this game were not surprised by what they saw with the Indians coming from behind. We saw, what was it, Game 20, Game 21, where the Indians had to come from behind, and Jay Bruce with that big-time hit. See, where the Indians are at now, the Indians are mentally prepared. They're battle-tested. They're ready to go. They're ready to lock and load. Any word on Edwin? I'll get to Edwin in a second. Heard a few things. What's up, Brandon? Yeah, so let's see. Brandon's a singer and a guitar player. Tom is a drummer. James, I don't know if you play anything. What's up, Mike? I don't know. Do you play any instruments? I'm just going through here. Danielle, do you play any instruments? Sorry, I digress. Yes, Windians. I'll get to Edwin in a second. But the point is that the general public and the professional paid commentators, they're all expecting the Indians to win at this point, and I love it. When is the last time we have been the favorite, the overdog? We're used to being the underdog. That's why, it's called the unhappy hour, right? Anyway, but Coach Francona, he also said that Brian Shaw, who's often lambasted, maybe rightfully so, but maybe not rightfully so because they use him so much. Of course, he's going to have a few bad outings, but overall, he's just fantastic. Terry made sure that he was giving credit to Brian Shaw for calming the game down. He settled the game down long enough for them to climb back into it. It was just... This game was a backbreaker for the New York Yankees. Just an absolute backbreaker. When you go and you play such a hard-fought game, it's one thing to lose, and it never really gets close. And you just say, well, look, on that day they were just better than us. They were taking care of it. Because it would have been easy to say that if we would have kept Sabathia in. If the Yankees would have kept Sabathia in, and would have just kept rolling inning after inning after inning. I guess he had 7, 8, and 9 hitters coming up after they pulled him. Get a few more outs out of him, push it a little further. And maybe CC, after such a storied career, a potential Hall of Fame career, CC just has one of those lights out games and he, gets it done. He struggles early and he settles in and just dominates on his way out. And it's one of the things he can look back to in his career. I don't know. But what you have now is this is... it's a pretty big backbreaker for the Yankees to get this close, to have it in their grasp, and then just to have it yanked out like that in front of the fans who are treating these games on the streak and treating the games in the first round of the playoffs, treating these games like there's nothing more important. But that's kind of what you're supposed to do. It's what's up, John? How's it going to everybody else watching? If you had comments, type them below. And if you want to join the show, say, invite me. I want to say something or I want to make a point or I'll talk. But it's just incredible looking back on the history of the Indians and Yankees, just seeing how many wonderful, epic, amazing battles we've had since the 90s. And the fact that the Tribe are coming out ahead in a lot of these cases. I thought about it. We could have had, four? We could have had 4 world championships since Jacobs Field and Progressive Field came there. You got 95, you got 97, 99 was a good team, 07 was a good team, 2016 was a good team. If you think about that, I mean, that's a potential 4 or 5 world championships had a couple of plays gone a couple of different ways. In some games, had one play gone one different way. You know, so that's what's unique about baseball. Everything is amplified in the postseason. How about Josh Tomlin with his 3 strikeouts in 2 perfect innings? You know, so we had to think, well, you know, why is Clevenger getting the nod in the Cleveland Indians bullpen? What about Dan Otero? You know, and you can go down the list and you can second guess, well, who's going to get innings? Who's going to be the starting pitcher? Well, why are they putting him in versus him? And we saw Clevenger came in. He was part of that trying to calm down the Yankees lineup that was going ballistic on the team. You know, we had 2 starting pitchers that came in after Kluber couldn't make it out of 3 innings. So, look, until I'm proven otherwise, I got a simple blanket statement. I'm just going to say, in Tito, we trust. In Tito, we trust. You've given me no reason to not do this before, so I'm going to stick with it. What about Francisco Lindor's Grand Slam? All right, peace out, guys. Yeah, and by the way, if you're watching after the fact, that's why you got to join our private Facebook group, The Unhappy Hour Sports Show, and then you comment with us live when we're going live. So make sure you do that. Join this. We're hopefully going for a championship run. But anyway, Francisco Lindor, that Grand Slam, that is just, you know, players play their whole career hoping for a moment like that. And I must have watched that play 30 times in a row. I got a nickname from my brother. He called me Captain Rewind, or CRW, CRW. Captain Rewind, because I just watch the funniest things over and over and over again, or watch the best sports plays over, and I keep rewinding. Because I like it. I'd rather watch the best moment 30 times and skip through 3 batches of commercials. Right? I mean, you got to think of the future advertising. It's really different with DVRs and Netflix and Hulu. I know it's a different subject, but is it really? Because it was on the Major League Baseball Network. Who has the Major League Baseball Network? Look, in 2017, you should be able to get whatever product you want by clicking the thing, and advertising can come at you. Advertising that you can't forward through. It's a Coca-Cola ad. It's a national brand. It's a Ford, Ford truck commercial. Built Ford tough, or whatever. Trying to specialize all this stuff and keep making it difficult for out-of-market fans like me to consume the Cleveland Indians content, the Cleveland Browns content, the Cavaliers, different story. You got perhaps the best basketball player of all time at his peak in his hometown. So there are going to be plenty of national games, but it shouldn't be complicated. We watch these NFL protests, and some fans just say, all right, putting this into perspective, I don't know that I want to spend an entire day on football anymore. And look at the price to go to a Cleveland Indians game. If you're not getting those super cheap tickets, what are decent tickets for a family of 4? 4 hot dogs, 4 drinks, 2 beers, pretzels, a t-shirt, a hat, parking, taking the whole day off to get down there. You know, we only have a limited amount of dollars as a consumer to expend on these products. So, you know, I just feel like it would be in the best interest for all these sports leagues to make it easy for the real fan to consume the content. I get that you're trying to set up these deals, and out here in Los Angeles, they have something with Time Warner, so if you don't have a certain cable carrier, you can't watch the Dodgers. So if you're on AT&T Uverse or Time Warner or Spectrum, these different cable companies, they have then, imagine taking the Cleveland Indians and saying, well, you have to be on Comcast if you're going to watch the Indians. And you're like, well, what? It was a little bit like how the iPhone was only for AT&T for a while there. I don't think it's good. Obviously, as the consumer, I want everything to be as accessible to me as possible, but that's what the market is demanding. Like I'm saying, you can make money off advertising, this and that, but yet another thing to subscribe to, there's only so many subscribing dollars in people's budgets. You know, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. All right, we're up to $30-$40 already, right? How much is your cable TV bill? Are you still paying for cable TV? Like, I get that the market's changing, but you can't force everybody into getting the NFL season pass. Just play the games, show the games so we can view them. And keep a Coca-Cola banner in the corner of the screen if you want to make sure your advertising revenue isn't hit. Okay, well, this is the third quarter, sponsored by Ford. The whole banner says Ford cars. This isn't complicated. Anyway, I digress. But yes, in Tito we trust until proven otherwise. Terry Francona has just been absolutely incredible. Him and Mickey Callaway have done such a good job with this team. It's fantastic. Jay Bruce, again. Bruce. I'm telling you, it doesn't get much better than signing a guy halfway through the season. He comes here, and he's not a dud. He's embracing it. I think he said something along the lines of, this was the most fun game Jay Bruce has ever been a part of. This is a veteran that's been around. The Yankees, the Reds, around the place. Pretty solid career. This is the most fun game he's ever been a part of. I mean, what we're doing is special. I want the fans to make sure you get down there, you support it, you buy some merch, you buy some t-shirts, buy some hats. Reward the team that spent several $1 million to get Jay Bruce, because he was either going to the Yankees or the Indians. It was down to those two teams. We spent the money to get him. So go to the games, buy some new stuff. Keep the logo, by the way. It's just awesome. It's so great to be a part of. Jay Bruce's game-tying home run, another huge play. And as my cousin Justin brought up yesterday on the show, on the Unhappy Hour, he was saying, you know, remember, as soon as we got Jay Bruce, that's when we went on our winning streak, when we won 22 games in a row. It was pretty much right after he showed up. So to think that if Edwin Encarnacion is injured and it's got to last for several games, we have to go to our bench and bring in Michael Brantley. What is he, a career 300 hitter? That's depth. That's good. That's kind of like how the Cavaliers at this point, their team is so stacked with different players that can go 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes a game. You can really ease up on a lot of things when you're that deep of a team. So Jay Bruce, the reason I'm talking about the depth is obviously is if you lose Edwin's bat, you've now put Jay Bruce's bat in place. So yes, you want Edwin, who led the team in RBIs and home runs. You want him. But if he's got to miss a couple of games, going to Jay Bruce and then Michael Brantley, that's not the worst thing in the world. Relax, Tribe fans. This isn't about one or two players. Like Tito said, we don't believe in one or two players. We believe in all of our team. And he said it was a team effort, and it took the entire team making an entire team's worth of plays. And if there's a handful of plays where if they didn't go exactly how they did, the Indians wouldn't have won yesterday. It took every player on that roster. So in Tito, we trust in the roster until proven otherwise. Yan Gomes, game winner, bottom of the 13th. Welcome aboard, buddy. This is You are legendary, good sir, and you always will be for the end of time. Yan Gomes, love you, man. You are legendary in the history of time. You are a Cleveland sports legend. Kudos. Connected to that game-winning double ripped down the left field line just inside the third base bag. In addition to that, your throwout, and what was it, the top of the 11th, the pickoff over Raul Torreyes when Gardner pulled his bunt. Yeah. Whew. When it happened, I saw you were like, oh, I thought I got him. I think I got him. And the pitcher kind of thought it too. I was sitting there watching it saying, I think he got him. And then that replay, you got him. Congratulations, man. That play in that situation, to get Torreyes off there to pinch run, oh my gosh. Runner on second, extra innings. All it takes is one run, and you, my friend, you were the one that kept that game going for us so that we could make it to the 11th inning. Thank you so much. And even on the pitch, what was it, 2 pitches before? I think it was 2 pitches before you got the game winner. You turned so early, and you caught it, and you knocked it into, it was like the, I don't know, the luxury suites or whatever those are in the left field line. And on the replay, you swung, hit it, and you went, oh, because you knew you almost had it. You were that you were that close. Oh, man. So impressed with this team. This is special. When you're part of something special, you got to document it. You got to love it. You got to soak it up. To comments real quick, Tom is saying he has MLB, cable will go away, and everything will be through the internet. Yeah, that's one of the cord cutting campaign is real. It's a real thing. The content's just moving over. Don't fight the distribution method. Embrace the new dynamics and figure it out. Be the best person to deliver the content to the people. And make sure that the content creator can make some money back for providing the content. Whatever that formula is, and I understand it might be complicated, because it is. I totally get it. But our cable company is going to last? I don't know. And what's up, Brian? Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comments, put them below. I'll try to get to them. That pickoff from Yan Gomes, Lindor's tag, it was perfect. Just perfect. From his knees, Yan Gomes throwing on a failed bunt attempt, back to pick the runner off at second base in the 11th inning. Absolutely incredible. Nobody out. Whew. But I do want to talk about the guy that's out, Edwin Encarnacion. I have mentioned it in various ways so far leading up to this moment. But he rolled his ankle. He got an MRI. They're saying it's, I don't know, what's the latest here? I mean, I can click on the... Oh, yeah, I should have had this open for lighting. Sorry, I'm getting used to this whole broadcasting thing. Because I've been doing radio for so long. I'm looking to find where it says his injury. Apparent right ankle sprain. He was later spotted wearing walking boot and crutches. Yeah, but that was old. I thought they were saying that it's a ankle injury. The MRI was negative. And someone, I think Yan Gomes texted him right afterward. And he said, I'll be fine. I'll be back. It's good. I'm hearing good things so far. I'll try to get you like a specific update. And if you get a specific update on the injury situation, share it in the Unhappy Hour Sports Show. The Unhappy Hour Sports Show. Share it in there. We want to stay on top of it. It looked gruesome, but it also looked like something that could possibly just be a sprain and something you could bounce back from. I sure hope that's the case. And I'll tell you what, we're going to find out as we go. I really liked when Joe Smith was on the mound in the 9th inning. And when that pitch dropped right in there, Gomes framed it. Gomes came up and gave a fist bump about a half second, maybe a full second prior to the umpire knocking him out and calling the 3rd strike to end the inning. You rarely see the catcher call the batter out prior. Thank you, Tom. The Unhappy Hour Sports Show, a support group. But if you get the chance to replay the game, to watch a game, to go back and watch the highlights, watch Joe Smith, watch Yan Gomes ring out the batter before the umpire behind him does. It's one of the coolest. I watched that about 10, 15 times in a row. I thought it was great. Yeah, I mean, you had Aroldis Chapman throwing Austin Jackson's chopper into the camera bay. That was a weird play. How many of you guys, when you were watching that, did you think of Steve Bartman? I don't know if you guys did, but they kept showing that guy. They kept showing the camera guy that reached out and got the ball. But my opinion as well, the ball that sailed past its target, bounced, and it was coming up toward the cameraman, and he reached out and got it. Maybe his hand did go out further, but it's likely it was going to go in there anyway. So there was nothing to overturn on that, giving the extra base. But it is what it is. Betances getting the loss, that's fine. Yeah, Terry Francona was saying it was an honor to be a part of this game. It was an honor to be a part of this game. It was an honor to watch it. It was going poorly for the whole first part of that game, the whole first half of that game, pretty much. And I started thinking about ways to just file it off and go, I don't even know what happened, man. This doesn't make me happy, and I don't want to consume this. This is going to put me in a bad mood. And I'm so glad I stuck it out. So glad I stuck it out. You hear those stories of people that they leave a sporting event to beat traffic, but they miss something great. Hey, if you're going to do it, do it. If you're going to watch it, watch it. I guess I'll give you a disclaimer. I'll give you an asterisk if you're a Cleveland Browns fan. If you're tired of watching at this point, man, I'm not going to give you grief for saying you've had enough watching the Cleveland Browns. Far be it from me. That team, what is it? It's the most pathetic stretch of football over 2 seasons, like 2-34, 2-31 or something. I don't know. Yes, it was an honor to watch that game. What's up, Chris? And then it wasn't more about Girardi's mistakes. And this will be the last point that I'm going to make. So if you had any comments on Facebook Live, type them in below, ask me a question, or leave another comment. I'll try to get to it. But I'm just going to make this final point about the pitching staff. I guess about the managerial staff of Joe Girardi. And once again, I've touched on this a bit, but can you really fault the manager for having a game plan to manage his 37, 38-year-old starting pitcher workhorse? I don't think it's a bad idea to have a game plan to make sure you're factoring in his health and long-term ability to deliver. How many? Let me ask you this: how many cross-country trips do you want to take with your 20-year-old car now? Is this something that you're totally fine with? Whatever, we got AAA if we need it. I'm not gonna fault Joe Girardi for not leaving him in. Maybe you could have left him in for a few more pitchers. That's a debate anytime a manager goes out to get a guy who's doing okay. It's not really a debate when you got Corey Kluber getting rocked in the 2nd inning. But anytime a pitcher's going okay, and then the decision is made to pull him, you see that anytime you're getting close to a no-hit bid like Trevor Bauer had. Maybe you get to the 7th, 8th inning, or up to the 9th inning, and you just the other team's starting to get some really good swings at it, and they're putting the ball in play, and just it was right player in the right place at the right time. But you get the feeling that pitcher is getting lucky to get away with it. Those are situations you can understand, but they can still be second-guessed. I don't know that I can really second-guess Joe Girardi in his decision to take CC Sabathia. Obviously, as a Cleveland sports fan, I'm loving all of this, and I'm very happy with that decision. So, is it disingenuous for me to praise the decision that may have helped lead to our team winning? Whatever. Maybe. I don't care. I care about the win. And now we got 9 to go. Now we have 9 to go. Yeah, and then Chisenhall getting hit by the pitch. In real time, he did kind of give that little lurch just a millisecond before. It may have. I still feel like it might have. It was so close, I think it moved this part of his batting glove. It moved it. I don't know if that was the air that moved it. And then it did look like it hit the knob of that after that, and it went down. I mean, look, if you're calling that live without replay, whoop, got to refocus. If you're calling that live, you call that as a hit by pitch. Maybe the catcher heard it hit the bat, but that also didn't mean that it didn't hit the meat of his. I don't know. Do you fault Joe Girardi for not challenging that? I guess you could have. It would have prevented. Maybe. It was still just a foul ball. We don't know what would have happened. So, I mean, any one of these plays, you want to break them down. If they did this, if they didn't do that, they should have done this, they should have done that. Take those question marks aside. And feel free to just go ahead and let those question marks also add to the lore of this game. You just saw an all-time epic game. An all-time epic game between two American League baseball powerhouse teams of the past 3 decades that have become very familiar with each other in the postseason. You just saw something amazing. So those squiggly little mysteries, those question marks, should he have done this? Could they have done that? Did this go the right way? Was that the right call? Should they have reviewed that to pick him off at second? Should they have reviewed that? That might have been a foul tip instead of being a hit by pitch. What if Lindor's blast that hits the pole? That ball was probably going to the second deck. He got everything on that pitch. Everything on that pitch. It was going to go to the second deck if it didn't bounce off of that pole. What if? What if this? What if that? Hey, I don't know. Greg is, okay, let's see. Chris Ford was asking, it was a bad decision to pull CC. He was way too hot. Had our number at that moment. Yeah. Well, but like, it's Chris, it's like the analogy I was just making a second ago. You can take your 20-year-old car across the country in a cross-country trip. You can. And, did CC, he had it going, he had our number at that moment, he was way too hot? Yeah. But you can also overheat the engine of a 20-year-old car or a 37-year-old pitcher. How far do you need to push it? So I understand. I can see both sides. Who was right, who was wrong? I don't know. We're all just assuming had he stayed in, he wouldn't have imploded. We don't know that either. Yeah, he might have been too hot like an overheated engine on a very old car. He's a very old pitcher. Greg is saying, can we talk more about Aaron Judge? I don't feel he gets enough exposure. Yes, the sarcasm meter has gone off. Aaron Judge. He's a big statured player, putting up big-time numbers in a big market. You hit north of 50 home runs, you're 6'7" behemoth, you're going to get attention. Yeah, and maybe it was, I'm looking here, longest home runs from Friday. They're saying Lindor's was only 408. I don't know about that. That was such a I know it was down the corner, but Jay Bruce knocking one out more to center and being longer. Maybe that is the case. Aaron Judge is a giant. Aaron Judge is a giant strikeout machine. Oh, it's easier to laugh now after getting that win. I don't know how much I'd be laughing if this was a tie series 1-1 right now. But yeah, he strikes out a ton, Greg. You're right. Chris is saying he's a freak of nature. Yes, he is. Can't hit the curveball, says Greg. I hope you guys have seen our video edit. I think it's up on our vid.me/the New American Media page. It's the place we went because all of our YouTube stuff was getting sent. We were having Indians, Cavs, and Browns videos getting flagged as unmonetizable content. Not suitable for all advertisers. Just ridiculous stuff. YouTube is committing a suicide. So we started that channel in addition to youtube.com/the New American Media. But I believe on both platforms as well as Facebook, if you look around, we put up a Thug Life, a Trevor Bauer edit. And it's pretty funny. When he talks about... So this is connecting the dots to the comments here about Aaron Judge not being able to hit the curveball. Actually, you know what? Well, no, if I play it, then I think it got flagged because you played the... I'm telling you, this internet flagging and demonetizing and shadow banning, there's fair use. You're allowed to play stuff from something else if it's newsworthy and you want to talk about it. It's called fair use. It's a fair use legal provision for media companies to use clips of things to convey greater points. And it's so arbitrarily enforced and targeted in its enforcement that it's just better off not even doing it sometimes, which is a shame. We've got to get this internet thing figured out because we need more channels where it's us talking to each other instead of a paid corporate program speaking to you, manipulating you, giving you their force-fed message. We need more of these conversations. But the Thug Life edit with Trevor Bauer was hilarious. There was a game against the White Sox, and he was asked, what happened on that play? He goes, well, this guy, he said it before. They only pitch me off-speed stuff. They only throw me curveballs. And so Trevor goes, well, I don't know if he's aware of the rules of the game, but they say that I can choose to throw you whatever pitch I feel like throwing you. And so he throws the first pitch. It's an off-speed pitch that he fouls off, and he starts jawing at me. He starts running his mouth. So I say, okay, well, if you're so confident, get back into the box. Step back into the box. So I throw him another off-speed pitch, one that he should have hit, misses that one too, keeps talking at me. Third pitch, strikes him out, so I decide to remind him of the rules of the game. 3 strikes means you're out, go sit back down on the bench. And to his credit, he took it like a champ, and he went back to the bench. Good for him. And that's where we added the la-di-da-di-da, and start playing some Snoop Dogg, and get the glasses, and it's hilarious. That was a long way of saying not being able to hit off-speed stuff reminded me of the funny video we did with Trevor Bauer and his Thug Life edit. It's on YouTube. It's on our vid.me channel. Yes, the trouble with the curve meme is genius. And that was posted, Greg just said that, from the Unhappy Hour group, from someone who doesn't really interact with our group very much. So I'm honored. There are people out there that consume this content, that enjoy these conversations, that aren't the most aggressive posters, but they read the stuff going through and they get a feel for it. They'll look it over. And I think that's neat because sometimes we feel like nobody's paying attention. Sometimes we feel like everybody's paying attention. And I don't think any of it matters because, the groups that we've created for the New American Media, it's groups of people that feel like talking about certain things. I think it's cool that there are people that are participating without us knowing that they're participating. Maybe it's creepo status. Yeah, maybe there's a little bit of that. COINTEL pros. Yeah, counterintelligence professionals. There's a mole in the group. Which, by the way, are things that have all happened in other groups that I've been in. So you got to, take it for what it's worth. But Yeah, the trouble with the curve meme was something that was shared. I think we put it on Instagram.com/the unhappy hour, and it was pretty cool. So, um, thank you for sharing that. I forget your name, who shared it, but I hope more of you comment. I want you all to participate in this conversation. We're all here to celebrate this wonderful run that we're on. You know, and when you're the first weekend of October and your team is up 2-0 in whatever series you're in, and you got a chance to win a World Series, that's what you root for. That's what you play the whole season for. That's what you watch decades for until your team has that chance. This is our chance. Extra innings, Game 7 last year. We were one swing away. So, yeah, it's a great time to be alive. The trouble with the curve meme was genius. Greg's making a joke because we make a lot of people admins over here, and he said that person will be an admin by the end of this video. Funny. Yeah, but we do. We want this to be the vehicle that we all go on journeys together in. You know, it's a school bus. We can all drive it. We can sit down in the back. We can sit in the middle. We can try to take a nap. We can be up front talking to the bus driver. But we're all on a journey, you know, and that's what baseball is too. From back in the old days, especially getting on the bus and going from city to city together. You become a band of brothers. You become a tribe, a tight-knit group of family. So you can save me the Chief Wahoo being an insensitive, cartoonish, offensive, I don't know, what would you call it? There are people that hate this logo, but I was at Chicago at an airport a few weeks ago, and I spoke with an Indian man, a man from India, the dot, not feather. And he kept asking him, like, so what does that mean? What is that? What is that to Indian? Indian howl, Indian, okay, what is it? And I just kept telling him, it's a tight-knit band of brothers. You know, I remember that one writer, maybe he was from the Boston market, the Boston area. I forget what website, but I did share it on the Unhappy Hour group, talking about, you know, it's time to let go of this Chief Wahoo being a racist and an offensive. He said, the writer said, the ridiculous leap of faith you have to take to make it, to get us to believe that a team would knowingly take on a logo and mascot because it's something we are bigoted against and dislike. That's ridiculous. You know, and I said, well, it's, if Cleveland got the Cleveland Black Panthers or the Cleveland KKKs or the Cleveland ISIS. Yeah, so it'd be like if Cleveland gets a hockey team and names it Cleveland ISIS or Cleveland KKK. I'm not going to root for that team. I don't care that you're from the city. That's not cool. That's stupid. You know, the Native American culture in Ohio, all of Ohio, is forever intertwined with who the people of Ohio are today. And so when I think of this, I think of a tight-knit band of brothers, a team that works hard and works together and never gives up, and just a tight-knit band of brothers. That's what my tribe is. And that's what it has been my whole life. So, yes, that would be a big-ass school bus, Greg. That would be a big-ass school bus. Anyway, this is the end of the school bus for you guys. I'm going to call it a day and post these. vid.me/the new American media. Subscribe to our channel. There are ways to, I don't know. Our channel just got verified, so I'm just now able to upload the right amount of content. So we'll see the channel start to grow, but we're doing that because YouTube is pushing a really draconian censorship thing through their platform. It's pretty disgusting, and I want to make sure I have different outlets to continue speaking with you and archiving this content in between. Definitely Facebook, get in the group, The Unhappy Hour Sports Show. Subscribe to the group, join it. And yeah, youtube.com/the new American media. On Twitter, we're at American_media_. Greg on Twitter is at Greg Time. There he is over there. Yeah, that's it. Instagram.com/theunhappyhour. So anyway, Indians win. Just an epic, exhausting win. We can take a break today. And then we get back at it tomorrow against the Yankees to try to take this thing home. All right, we'll talk to you again soon later. Peace.